Sagittarius, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are looking at a few things. We're looking at relationships. We're also looking at career and finances. And I will grab a couple of cards for health as well. Please make sure you do subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel grow, being such a small channel. Super appreciate that. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for a free personal reading as well. Hopefully drawing that soon. But this week we are using, for relationships, we are using the Yin Yang Oracle as well as the Blackbird Lenormand. When we move over into career and finances, I've got the Soul's Journey lesson cards there, as well as the Jelly Bean Lenormand. And then when we do grab a couple of cards for health, I'm using the Earthbound Oracle. Okay, so getting into it for you, Sagittarius. When we're looking at relationships, for some people this is showing platonic relationships like friends and family. For others of you, this may be love relationships. We're just sort of seeing what wants to come out, what relationship stuff is most important for you. Okay, Sagittarius. What is going on for Sagittarius with relationships? Okay, what's going on for Sagittarius with relationships, please? Okay, so for you here, Sagittarius, firstly, we do have the guilt and sabotage energy. Okay, so what is that about? Is that you or other people trying to sabotage your relationships, or are you feeling guilty that someone has successfully sabotaged a relationship in your life? We do see the change energy there as well, which does talk about cycles and completion. Okay, so I do feel as though this is referring, for a lot of you, this is referring to a relationship that has already completed, and you yourself, or this person, feeling some guilt about the way that this was sort of sabotaged. There may have been the energy of sabotage is coming through with that completion. That although with that completion card, it is also about change and cycles. That there is this very natural energy with that as well. That this is just part of the cycle of life. That this is what was necessary to happen within this connection at this time. So I kind of straight away feel as that there's no need for guilt. But we'll delve into that a little bit here with the Lenormand. Okay, Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius with relationships, please? Clarify that central card for Sagittarius. Yeah. Okay. I do want to also, I'll show you as well. I did notice this on the bottom of that deck as well. On the bottom of the Yin Yang Oracle, we did have the thoughts and isolating energy there as well. So I do feel as though this may be, part of what's going on for you here as well, Sagittarius, because we do see you in the hurt energy. Okay, heartbreak, hurt, regardless of whether this was a platonic or a romantic relationship, we do see that there's some elements here that it has hurt you, that this has completed, and that this has, been sabotaged in some way. I am sort of hearing that for someone out there, it was kind of like self-sabotage, that that's why you're feeling guilty. Okay, so I don't know whether that's for the collective or just for someone in particular there, but there is a lot of hurt connected with the ending of a relationship in the recent past here. We do also have the fish energy, which was clarified by the house. Okay, so for some of you, this is directly connected to, this is what the sabotage is about, is that there was this energy of, I am feeling the fish is all about abundance, wealth, and finances. So for some of you here, I'm getting slightly different messages for different people within the collective, but for some of you here, there was some sort of financial sabotage. Some because I'm hearing that like somebody has like accused somebody of something, financially speaking, like theft or you know, using them for money or something along those lines. And that has maybe led to the completion of this connection here. And that's the sabotage energy. That's the guilt energy that, oh, I blames, I accused someone of stealing $10 and then, the relationship ended because we had a big fight about that. And then, a day later, I found the $10. So, I'm feeling guilty because I was wrong. That kind of energy. I hurt that that's all it took to break this connection. That's all it took. The hurt card here, it is traditionally the cross energy in the Lenormand. So it does actually hold this energy of destiny, that this is the way that things were supposed to be, for some unknown reasons. I do know that a lot of the time when we are feeling heartbroken and hurt and we're carrying this guilt as a burden, it can be very hard to say, oh, this was supposed to happen this way, because, it doesn't feel good to recognize that maybe this is actually what's supposed to happen here. Um, but it kind of is like there is a sense of destiny with that hurt card as well, that, sometimes we learn the most from the things that hurt us the most, as rough as that may be. But with that fish energy clarified by the house, for a lot of you here, we are seeing you trying to stabilize that hurt energy, trying to stabilize yourself, by focusing elsewhere, focusing on your home life, your financial life, your job, career, those sorts of things. Trying to focus elsewhere, so you're not focusing on the hurt, which is kind of understandable, right? And you're trying to really, just sit in and find stability and security in other relationships in your life, your family relationships, relying on the people that you feel are more stable than relationships that may have ended over, because I do feel that for a lot of you it may have ended over something that you're now kind of perceiving as something that shouldn't have broken that relationship, something smaller than what it should have taken to break that relationship. Okay, so, but once again, looking at the fact that, this is part of the cycle, this is part of the change that was necessary to, maybe allow you to look at these feelings of guilt within yourself to, for some of you that may have been self-sabotage, that and allows you to look at those issues for yourself here, because we do see you as well. So this is like using this to focus back on yourself and where you really stand here, with you dealing with yourself and healing yourself, growing yourself, just sitting and dealing with your life in general, just focusing back in on yourself, being a little bit selfish at the moment, Sagittarius, and taking this part of the cycle to, really sit with yourself and work out, okay, how can I actually learn from this, rather than just sitting in that hurt energy constantly. How can I actually use this to move myself forward in the future and you know avoid this stuff happening again in the future? So it's kind of a learning process, but it's really giving you this opportunity to actually see yourself in a different light and learn more about yourself and actually focus on yourself, instead of focusing your attention so much on these relationships around you, to actually stop and focus on yourself and pay yourself some attention, and really deal with things in a healthy kind of way, where you're not just sitting there heartbroken and hurt. It's your time for you, is what I'm kind of getting there. That it's time for you to really focus on you and what you deserve and what you desire. okay, and how that plays out for you in relationships around you, okay, your role in things as well. All right, but we'll have a look at career and finances. Okay, Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius with career and finances? Have imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. So some of you may be, highly creative industry, that sort of thing as well. But it's all about bringing that creative flair of you to whatever it is that you're doing. Using your imagination, not allowing your imagination to restrain you, especially when it comes to money. I kind of get this energy of somebody sort of sitting there and using their imagination, going, imagine what I could do. Imagine what I would do. Really sitting there with yourself and being like, if I was successful and my career went boom and I all of a sudden imagine I won the lotto, how would I spend that? What would I do with that? Really letting your imagination run free at the moment with your career and financial stuff, which is going to actually help you manifest those in that, bring you closer to, not restraining yourself and not limiting yourself. So it's going to manifest some really positive change for you in career and finances. And for some of you, this is about using your creative flair. I'm kind of getting something, along the lines of just looking at things. If you've got a certain issue at work, for example, how do I do this job at work? It's getting boring and mundane, but you're making up games in your head to help you, get through the boring, mundane parts of the job, and you're really using your creative flair to propel you towards, having more fun in the workplace, and looking at things in different ways of how you can achieve more in different ways that maybe nobody else that does that same job has ever thought of. So really, delving into that creative side of yourself when it comes to your career. We also have fear. So it's kind of like you've been a bit fearful of doing that. But, that's what's actually really going to allow you to shine and grow within your career, is using your imagination. All right. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So really, don't allow fear to hold you back. Really, really pushing yourself to, find the fun and the playfulness and love for the job, even if you absolutely hate the job. Having a bit of fun with it, and using your imagination, letting your imagination run wild. What would your ideal job look like if you weren't doing this boring one that you're not happy with? Not allowing fear to hold you back, getting your imagination fully running wild at the moment, I feel, is going to serve you really good in your career. Okay, Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius with career and finances, please? Clarify that third card for Sagittarius with career and finances. Why are we seeing that for Sagittarius? What's the outcome of that happening for Sagittarius? Okay, so Sagittarius, we do see the clouds. Okay, so once again, I want to say, put your head up in the clouds here. This is actually, it does talk about the way that you're thinking about things, and I am seeing that you have been trying to think about things very logically and rationally, but we're seeing the imagination card, so we're being asked to be more creative with the way that we are thinking about things. Not allowing logic and fear and And, I feel like the more that you're trying to stay rational and logic and only rational and logic, that's what's holding you back. That's what's creating the fear of growth for you here. So it's kind of asking you to look for the silver linings in the clouds. Use your imagination to embrace the potential, the direction your thoughts really could go in. We have the rider here as well. The rider does talk about good news is on the way for you here when it comes to your career or your finances. Um, and I did mention when we were talking about that relationship that, for someone out there, you may have sort of, I use the example of, you may have accused somebody of, oh, you stole $10 from me, and then a few days later you found the $10. This may be connected to your career or your finances. Like, we're reading finances as well here, so there may be a connection here between what I was talking about back there and this here as well, because there's news on the way about a loss. We have the mice here. This is something that's been eating away at your finances, something that has been stealing from you, taking from you, nibbling away at your nest egg kind of energy. And you are getting news about that, and it does look like good news. Okay, with that rider, it's generally good news. So it's if anything, the good news is that it's going to clarify what's been truly going on for you here. That was clarified by the garden. Okay, so the garden is actually a social card. So it's kind of giving me. I'm getting social media coming through from that, an event. Like, it does talk about meetings a lot of the time. So it's kind of like your, the good news that's on the way is that someone's going to have a meeting with you about the loss or the theft. And it's actually good news for you here because it helps you get to the bottom of it. So for someone here, it may be like meeting with a financial advisor to go over your finances and check through, going back through the finances and checking through everything and finding out, where you have been losing a little bit of money, where something has been eating away at your finances, that kind of thing. I am getting that for someone here. It may be a meeting about your finances, because the result of that what that leads to, we have the birds, which is conversation. So it really does lead to a conversation and this potential of you. I feel like this is like you talking to yourself about what's gone on and how that's resolved and how that's happening for you, and it's really sort of, it feels like the birds sometimes can be quite a fluttery energy, and I'm kind of getting that here, that it's a very fluttery, chit chatty kind of energy, sometimes even gossipy, but it's not really gossipy, it's more fluttery. It's a very fluttery kind of energy where it's like it's leading to conversations that are, it feels like they're going to have an impact on multiple aspects of your life, but at the same time, it's going to ease your worries and your concerns and give you that inner wisdom. Okay, the birds quite often is represented by the owl as well. So there is some sort of wisdom that you're going to gain from having these meetings as well. Okay, so if you have been suffering, like having something like that happening for you, I would suggest, talking to a financial advisor or having a meeting with somebody who can actually help you, talk about what's been going on for you financially, and that's going to really help you find the wisdom of how to fix the problem. Okay, so that may not be for everybody, but that's what I'm getting coming through for you here. All right, but we'll grab a couple of cards for health as well. I'll preface by saying I am not a health professional. I am not a medical expert. Any concerns you may have, always seek guidance from a professional. I do, a lot of readers will not touch the health stuff, but I feel as though sometimes it does, just give us a good little indication of things that we may need to be aware of. So we'll have a look. Okay, Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius with health? Anything that Sagittarius needs to be aware of with health, please? Health for Sagittarius. Yeah, so we're seeing the cycles card once again here, Sagittarius. So, we did see that in that relationship stuff as well. So there's definitely this energy at the moment where you're sort of going through some sort of cycle, in your whole entire life. Certain things in your life are affecting other areas of your life, and especially sleep cycles. Okay, we have the sleep card there as well. So whatever else is going on in your life at the moment, it is affecting your sleep cycles, and that's something that you do need to try to get back onto the more regular and get more rest, get more sleep. Even if you feel like you're getting enough sleep, there is a need for you here to get some extra sleep and really rest, because I feel as though that cycle is being interrupted and you're not actually entering into actual proper restful sleep. So there may be something. I'm hearing like I'm hearing melatonin as well. So some of you may need it to actually go and get medical help to regulate your sleep a little bit better, to actually allow you to enter into deep sleep phases. Because I am just sort of picking up here that some of you, you're just in this cycle at the moment. Your cycles are being affected. For some of you, if you are somebody who has menstrual cycles, they may be getting affected by this as well. And the more sleep that you're having at the moment, the better for your whole system. I feel that that's going to be. Okay, so I'm also picking up here. I'm also picking up on potential intestinal issues. Okay, so if you're feeling like, and that may be keeping you up at night as well, kind of, I'm just getting this, it feels like swirling, and like, it feels like so it could be stress related as well, but it's kind of like creating some intestinal issues as well for someone there. So maybe needing to actually go and see a doctor if those things are resonating for you. But like I said, it's just a bit of an indication of potential issues that's not going to resonate for everybody. And that is perfectly fine. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Do leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. And hopefully I will see you all soon.